So there's been a lot of reboots that have been happening in Hollywood, and you're a screenwriter. You've got ideas, and you probably have some ideas on how to shift Hollywood so they're not so communist, socialist.
Well, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen from within. I mean, it's not. The thing about leftists, and I wasn't a leftist, but I was a liberal. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that all liberals know is that right wingers are evil, and see,
true.
We right wingers think that the left is arguing with us, but they're not. They have no idea what we think. They have no idea what we believe. They have no idea what we're talking about. They're arguing with liberals. Leftists are arguing with liberals, and liberals have no power anymore. So it's really leftists just kind of screaming at their mothers who are liberal. But they have no idea what we're talking about. You cannot go to them and say, "Why don't we do a show that Trump supporters will like?" Because it's really like speaking German, Let's
do a show for child molesters.
Yeah, exactly. You say, like, what about the other half of the country? And what they hear is,
Can you keep doing your Hitler impression so that we can get it isolated, and then we can give it to like the left wing media, Think Progress and stuff.
Media Matters. Andrew Klavan.
Media Matters. Media Matters would actually do that.
Media Matters. Yeah. They're probably your biggest fans. They watch your show more than anybody.
Mm-hmm. It is incredible. What kind of life is that, Yeah. And if you've ever seen their pictures, they all look like the Hitler Youth. They have these big smiles, and they're actually white. They're so white, you kind of blind.
Hate themselves.
Yeah. So they wake up in the morning trying to destroy other people.
So we had some ideas for some franchises that we could reboot.
And we want the Andrew Klavan reboot. Rapid fire these. Just first thing comes to your head.
Like give us your pitch for like turning these into an Andrew Klavan.
You're sitting there in the pitch room at Bruckheimer Films. Okay, here we go. The Muppets.
The Muppets. I think we should do the Muppet porn movie. I think this is really it's something that's the time has come.
That is weird. Would that be censored? I don't know if that could be on Muppets. Cable.
The private life of Kermit the Frog. It's like
okay, we better move on from this.
Eggs and everything. It would be terrible. Yeah.
We better move on. Fancy Nancy.
I have no idea what Fancy Nancy is. What is Fancy?
Biker Mice from Mars.
What's that?
But this is what happens when you work in Hollywood. They're like, we need you to reboot this property. And you're like, I never heard of that. And you just pull something out, right?
You never say that. You never say that. What you say
you don't
is...
say that, but you say, oh, yeah, it's the greatest property ever. And then you pull out an idea from your...
Right. And you just put sex... If you put sex in it, they'll think that's cool,
So you're going to do Biker Mice from Mars also porn?
Exactly.
This is not where we're expecting this to go.
I wrote a script for a young adult classic, and a director came on. This is how I got fired. A director came on and said, "I want to put some S&M in it." I said, "It's for children."
It's Ramona.
He said, "Yeah, but that'll give it some edge." And I said, "Bye." That's like,
wow, so you have some integrity.
When I said I wouldn't do it, he said, "You're trying to be the producer." I said, "No, I'm just trying to be a human being."
Oh, wow. I do not understand that Hollywood making movies about like literal teenagers that are in high school, and then it's all sex. Like, what do you think? Amazing. You're an adult. Like, it's so weird.
Bunch of pervs.
Yep, pervos.
3 men and a baby.
3 men and a baby. I think it's got to involve cannibalism now. I think if and it should be a heartfelt plea for people who eat their children. I think it's this is something that not everybody understands. We have this kind of white male centric idea that when you have a baby, you're supposed to raise him and feed him, and all this. But if you just devour,
that's just social norms.
It's just it's just another way of looking at it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the point where the Hollywood...
See that I'm trying to talk my way back into the movie business.
You're trying to get back in.
This is where the Hollywood producers are like, yeah, great idea.
Yeah, they're like, we love this.
Well, we'll call you.
Great. We'll call you back.
That way they'd hire you on the spot, I think.
Ghost Dad needs help. Ghost Dad.
Ghost Dad. I think we should remake Ghost Dad, this time starring Bill Cosby.
Again.
Now
it's a horror film this time.
Exactly.
Bill Cosby is a ghost.
Why he ghosted us,
What about the American Ninja franchise? Not the obstacle courses, but Michael Dudikoff.
American Ninja franchise. That's not actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, actually. Why haven't they?
And I think,
like 7 of them.
Now that theatrical movies are a thing of the past, we should actually just have them come to your home and just kick the
Turnip.
out of you, you know?
It's an interactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Quibi. You just watch him punching you on your phone.
It's so real.
All right. Your pitch for an Air Bud reboot.
But
We're giving you all the best franchises.
You're probably talking to the only person you've ever met who actually saw Air Bud, because I think my son was right at Air Bud age when Air Bud came out. And if I've got that right, it's the dog who plays basketball.
That's right. Yes.
Right. But they made like 30 sequels.
There's Air Buddies.
It's popular.
There's like the Air Buddies, and
I think he's done all the sports.
just all the sports have been done.
I think we should do a twist on that and have Air Grasshopper. It's just the whole movie is 15 seconds long, because the minute the basketball hits, it's just, that's
The inspiring story of the basketball playing grasshopper.
He's got a great jump
You
shot.
could have it build all the way to him finally getting to the big game.
And then he just gets flattened.
Yeah. No, because he's got a great jump shot.
But it's like the Rocky ending, where like it feels like he still won, even though he lost. Still inspirational.
Exactly.
The real basketball game was inside him.
So what if they want to launch a movie, TV show, video game franchise based on the Quaker Oats guy? What do you do?
Well, that's actually, that would be like Black Mirror, because I don't know if you remember the Quaker Oats guy, but the Quaker Oats guy is on the cereal box, holding up the cereal box with the Quaker Oats guy, holding up the cereal box with the Quaker Oats guy, holding up the cereal box with it. It's an infinite regress.
Never ends.
Yeah, so that would actually be quite a startling, idea. Where the Quaker Oats guy sees the other Quaker Oats guys and realizes that pacifism just isn't going to work in this situation, and just opens fire.
All right,
he's back, and this time it's personal.
This time, exactly.
Princess Bride. Give us a Princess Bride reboot.
Princess Bride 2, this time it's funny. It'll be,
Oh, wow. Savage.
Dang. Okay, and finally, they want you to do an awesome, action-packed, kids love it reboot of the Quran.
No, that's great. It's great. It would be kind of like what is it, the Towering Inferno? It would be a remake of the Towering Inferno. Yeah. But this time it's not an accident. That's the difference.
All right, perfect. All right, cool.
Give us your 3 movies that you think ruined movies.
The 3 movies that I think ruined movies.
Yeah, like once that movie came out, like my example is The Matrix, because it was a great movie, but then it ruined action movies, because after that, everybody's doing ballet fighting.
Slow-mo.
No longer are we having the, handcuffed fist fight in the back alley or whatever.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I can think of some movies that really did do bad things. One of them, you'll be surprised to hear, is Schindler's List, which is a beautifully made movie.
So you really do hate Jews now.
Yeah, no,
it's all coming together. The Hitler impression, the skinhead.
Yeah, that was the thing. It made Jews look sympathetic. No, Spielberg is a brilliant shooter. He's a brilliant director visually, and it's a beautiful film. And it's this tremendous, the film about the Holocaust, and it's about a guy saving Jewish lives. And that's not what the Holocaust was actually about. So if you're going to make the film about the Holocaust, it should be a lot darker than anything that Steven Spielberg could make. And I felt that was the beginning. That when I saw that film, I thought, oh, now we're going to get all the sentimental Holocaust films. And that's essentially what's happened. So it's like it essentially erased reality for me. On a lighter note,
sentimental Holocaust films. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, every film since then was like, Life is Beautiful, the hilarious film. Just think, my
Hacksaw.
Finally, we can start doing some concentration camp buddy comedies.
Yes. Star Wars ruined movies, interestingly enough. The first Star Wars film, if you go back and watch the first Star Wars film, it's a parody. It's supposed to be a joke about the old Flash Gordon movies, and it's overdone, and even the acting is kind of stilted and weird. And people were so hungry for heroes after basically a decade of anti-heroes and 60s and 70s film. People were so hungry to see what they are actually offering that it then became the standard of filmmaking. And after that, that was what sort of led us down this path toward these superhero movies. And, superhero movies to me are just like, I like one a year maybe, but every movie is a superhero movie is really boring. So that was a big turnaround. And maybe the fifth reboot of Spider-Man, where somebody in Hollywood realized, we can just make the same movie every year with a different actor. And people will go like, yeah, that was good. That was good last 4 times and it's good again.
Yeah, that's what I get. You'll be in a group of people, rational people that you actually respect. And they'll sit there and they'll talk about all the different Spider-Mans or all the different Star Wars forever. As if it's an important thing to talk about. It's like talking about, it'd be like if you're like a seal and you're all talking about the crappy fish that they're giving you at the aquarium. They're like, oh, well, the first one was pretty good compared to the third one. It's like, you're just feeding you garbage.
You have no idea. I mean, I used to go in to the Daily Wire and we get into these fascinating political arguments, and we'd all see things differently and all this. And, and Ben Shapiro's a very bright guy, so you'd get some really interesting takes, and he talks in that rapid fire way and all this. And then you'd come in after one of these Marvel Universe movies, and there'd be the same guy standing there, and they'd be saying things like, no, Spider-Man is not dead because they wouldn't kill Spider-Man. You go like, what are you people talking about? You're grown men. You should not be talking about.
Kyle's insulted right now, I think.
Oh, I'm just glad I wore my Star Trek shirt today, not my Star Wars shirt. Okay, it was close. I almost wore my Star Wars shirt, but
I'm not attacking Star Wars. Actually, I think the first movie is really entertaining. I'm just saying that it kind of ruined everything anyway.